It's 11:47 p.m. and John is lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, doing math he already did 4 times today. Rent is due in 6 days. His account has $214 in it. Payday is in 5 days. He runs the numbers again, like they're going to change if he just does the subtraction one more time. Clara is asleep next to him. He doesn't wake her. He never wakes her. Because this isn't a conversation, this is a private, silent, 2 a.m. kind of panic, and almost nobody talks about it, because almost nobody's proud of it. If you have ever done math in the dark, so you didn't have to say the number out loud, this video is for you. My name is Mike, and today we're talking about the panic that doesn't have a name, the one that lives in your chest at $0 in savings. Leave a like, and let's get into it. Here's what almost nobody tells you about having no savings. It's not really about the money. Not at first. It's about the forecasting. When you have $0 in the bank, your brain doesn't just track what you have. It starts running constant simulations of what could go wrong. Car makes a weird noise. Simulation. Kids' school calls. Simulation. Landlord texts. Quick question. Full nervous system alert before you even open the message. This isn't dramatic. This is just what a brain does when there's no buffer between a normal Tuesday and a full-blown emergency. And here's the number that should make you feel a little less alone in it. Multiple Federal Reserve surveys over the years have found that roughly a third of Americans could not cover a surprise $400 expense without borrowing money or selling something. A one-third. That's not a small, unlucky minority. That's tens of millions of people lying awake doing the same math John is doing tonight. But here's where it gets worse before it gets better. It's not just the fear. It's the shame stacked on top of the fear. Because the culture around money tells you, quietly but constantly, that if you don't have savings, it's because you didn't try hard enough. You bought the coffee. You got the delivery app. You didn't budget right. And so on top of the actual, practical fear of what happens if the car breaks down, you're carrying this second invisible weight, the belief that the fear is your fault. John feels both of these at once. The fear that something will go wrong, and the shame that he's 34 and still doing math like this. And that combination, practical fear plus personal shame, is exactly what keeps people frozen instead of moving. Because when you believe the problem is a character flaw, you don't look for a system. You just feel bad and hope it gets better on its own. It doesn't get better on its own. But, and this is important, it is not a character flaw. Having $0 saved is usually a math problem, not a discipline problem. Rent went up. Wages didn't. Groceries cost more. Something broke last year that ate the little cushion you had. This is happening to smart, hardworking, careful people constantly, all over the country, right now. You are not uniquely bad at this. Here's the part that actually surprised me when I started researching this. The panic of $0 in savings isn't just emotional. It's measurable. Researchers who study financial stress have found that people under serious money scarcity show real, physical changes, elevated cortisol, disrupted sleep, and a documented drop in working memory and decision-making capacity, similar to what happens when someone loses a full night of sleep. In other words, being broke doesn't just feel bad. It makes your brain function differently, in ways that make it harder to make the good decisions that would fix the problem. It's a trap that reinforces itself. We're going to go deep into exactly what that does to your brain in the next video, because it explains almost everything about why. Just budget better. Advice fails so often for people in this exact spot. Let's reframe this for a second, because I think the number $0 carries way more weight than it deserves. $0 in savings doesn't mean you're broke forever. It means you're standing at the starting line. That's it. That's literally all it mathematically means. Every single person who has ever built real financial security started at exactly the number John is looking at tonight. Not most people. Every person. There's no secret category of humans who were born with $1,000 already sitting in an account. What separates the people who stay at $0 for years from the people who don't isn't intelligence, and it isn't luck. It's usually one specific thing, whether they ever build a small, boring, unglamorous buffer between themselves and chaos. Not a fortune. Not retirement. Just enough that the car repair stops being a 5-alarm fire and starts being an annoying Tuesday. Here's something that might make you angry, and honestly, it should. Being at $0 doesn't just cost you sleep. It costs you actual money. When your car breaks down and you have no cushion, you don't get to choose the cheap, patient fix. You put it on a credit card at 24% interest, or you take a payday loan, or you borrow from family and carry that quiet debt in your relationships too. Being broke is expensive. It's one of the cruelest ironies in personal finance. The less cushion you have, the more each emergency costs you, which makes it harder to build cushion, which makes the next emergency cost even more. It's not a moral failing. It's a trap built entirely out of math. So here's what I want you to actually take from this video, John, Clara, and anyone watching who's done this exact math in the dark. The panic is real. It's not weakness. It's not proof you're bad with money. It's your brain doing exactly what it evolved to do when there's no buffer between you and disaster. But, and this is the part that matters, that panic is solvable, and it's solvable with a much smaller number than you think. You don't need $10,000. You don't need 6 months of expenses. You need one specific, boring, achievable first number, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to build it, step by step, starting from broke, in the next video in this series. If tonight's video felt uncomfortably familiar, I want you to know that's exactly why I started the community I run. It's not hype. It's not some guy pretending he's never been stressed about rent. It's the actual, unglamorous playbook for building that first buffer when you're starting from zero. Links in the description if you want it. A few days from now, John's rent clears. It's fine. It was always probably going to be fine. But, probably fine, at 2 a.m. with $214 in your account doesn't feel fine. It feels like standing on a ledge. That feeling has a name, and more importantly, it has an exit. We're going to find it together. What you do with your own money is on you. I'll see you in the next one.